What is up, everybody? Good evening. Welcome to KFL Tonight. You like that name? That's why I named it. KFL Tonight is what it's called. They have NHL Tonight. We're going to call this KFL Tonight. And we have some preseason action going on this weekend. Looking forward to it. And, guys, this is exciting. I tell you, the KFL season is getting ready to get started here up in June. And a lot of preparation has been done. There are 17 teams all across this country that is getting ready to compete. And, man, I tell you what, I was fortunate enough to be able to compete in a preseason game against Norfolk Privateers. And there was a different feeling at the ramp. I can't explain it. You just have to be there. But to have your team with you competing on the same body of water against another team, it's a different feeling. You know, usually we're individual, basically not contractors were out there trying to beat the pants out of each and every individual out there on the water. And it's just you. And, very rarely we have team events in kayak fishing. Well, this is going to get an opportunity to come together to represent your area, your state, your region, and have a great time doing it. It is an absolute blast. And I tell you, man, I think I was more excited watching other people catch fish on my team than I was myself. There's a clip of, Bobby Morin when he caught I think he caught like a 20 or 20 and a half fish. I was so pumped up when he caught that, to help catapult us to the victory. Man, I was so super pumped about it. It was just, it's a different feeling, man. It was a great feeling to do that. And I was talking to some of the guys over at the Lone Star Bandits. They took on Arkansas Hogs in Texas, and they kind of had the same feeling, man. They were coming together as a team, working together, communicating, and so on and so forth. So we have a video getting ready to come out. We had to get some professional production video. It's going to come out this week, showing you guys the preseason game and how it's gonna work and all that good stuff. So I can't wait till that happens. We are, putting all that editing together and just having a blast doing it. So anyway, it's a lot of content out there. And, we'll get it done, man. It was a lot of fun, And, we'll have to see, how it works. But, anyway, it was a blast. And, those of you who competed in it, you'd understand. It's just incredible. So, but we do have a game this weekend. It is a preseason game, out of the South region. It's going to be the Tarheel Lunkers taking on, Carolina Casters. And these guys, it's kind of like Duke, North Carolina. They're in their backyards. I think Duke, North Carolina is about maybe 8 miles in distance away from each other. They hate each other. Either you're baby blue or you're Duke blue, and they can't stand each other. I don't know how these guys are. We're going to talk to a couple of these competitors and get to know who they are and see what kind of rivalries that they're going to have. I can tell you this right now. The Washington Warhawks cannot stand the Norfolk Privateers. We're in the same state of Virginia. We are, acquaintances, we're friends, but in terms of teams, we cannot stand each other. We've already developed that rivalry. And, Washington Warhawks already put a whooping on the Norfolk Privateers, and the bad taste is in their mouth. They want some more of this. And we may or may not give it to them. I don't know. Well, I might have to wait to see the regular season game. So, anyways, a lot of fun. So, anyway, we're gonna get to some of the competitors on here, and we're gonna talk to both the Carolina Casters and the Tarheel Lunkers. And I've got, I got Stephen Bell. Stephen, are you there? And I've got Matt. I've lost Stephen Bell's video. Let's see here. Let's see. Steven, are you there? Nope, I lost Steven, but we got Matt, right?
Well, I'm here. Matt Dunn.
Yep. Matt Dunn. Yes, sir. How are you, man? Matt Dunn, and he's from the Tarheel Lunkers. And where about North Carolina are you from, Matt?
I'm originally from Apex, but I live in Fuquay Marina, so very close to Sharon Harris Reservoir.
Okay. Yeah, that's in the Raleigh area, correct?
So that is one of our we didn't our team didn't choose it, but it's my home lake, so I don't know whether or not I love it or hate it right now, but
right.
Kind of a tough place. Hey, Steven.
Stephen Bell's got a little bit of internet issues. It's that good old North Carolina internet. It's almost as bad as Texas, but
yeah,
it's okay. Well, Matt, listen, let's talk about yourself. I was told that you are the best fisherman in North Carolina that no one's ever heard of. Is that true?
I don't know if I'd go that far. I guess it just depends. You know, I sometimes it seems like I'm not good when I need to be, you know, like in a major tournament situation, but I'm hoping to change that this year. So,
yeah,
I'll do all right.
Well, when Matthew Ortenzi came up to you and said, "Look, we're putting together this team," and I'll be honest with you, Tar Heels came up, and man, it was out of nowhere. I mean, the team just kind of came and said, "Look, we have 6 guys or 8 guys. We already have sponsors. We already have a uniform. We already have our logo and everything. We're ready to go, man." It was one of the quickest routes, that Matt put together. Man, it was really, really impressive. But what was said to you, and what was your reaction about this whole format?
Well, I had kind of heard a little bit about the KFL before, and I do know that the Carolina Casters team came together like maybe a month or so before I heard anything about another Carolina team.
Right.
He asked me if I would like to be on it, and I was like, heck yeah, it was crazy. I actually felt like important, and then the way that he was able to get everything going so quickly and get sponsors, and then he asked for a couple other guys that I thought would be good for the team, and I made some suggestions, but he made it happen really quick, and it was almost like he had done this 1,000 times before. It was amazing.
Right. I mean, it was incredible. It was really impressive, man. So, I mean, the concept of, KFL is it's team fishing, and I kind of led to this in the very beginning, where it's kind of hard to put to words, how, we're all individuals. Now we're a team, and, now we're competing as a team. And again, I until you get out on the water and as a team and you start communicating and start doing, different things on the water, it's just a different feeling, man. It was really, really, really impressive. I loved it. I was more nervous. I'll be honest with you. I was really nervous going even to a preseason game because, I mean, look, you don't want to let yourself down, but more importantly, you don't want to let your team down. And, all throughout the day, you're just scoreboard watching the entire day. And then when you're putting up fish, you're like, oh, man, this is close. I ain't going to lie. When Nathan Green put up a 22 first thing in the morning, I was deflated. I mean, I was absolutely deflated. And then I was like, man, this is going to be hard to overcome. And, they got cold, we got hot, and we stayed hot. And it's just one of those things. It's just like, wow, But it was just back and forth that morning, trying to figure it all out. But, man, it's just a different atmosphere. You guys are going to experience this on Saturday. So, let's talk about the Tarheel Lunkers, Matt. Who's on your team and where are they from? And, let's talk about who they are and what kind of anglers these guys are.
Well, I just want to start out to say that, I don't like the cool part about this to me has been that I'm going to be able to build. I've been building and will continue to build more of a relationship with these individual anglers on the Tarheel Lunkers team. But what I do know going into all this is that we've got some hammers, and it's not to say that the Casters does not, because they do for sure.
Right.
And, so I don't know if I can give you like all the background information. We've got Christopher Decker. He just won the Burlington Bash, the CKA tournament, Carolina Kayak Anglers tournament.
Right.
A couple of weeks ago, he just took the win on that. He's an amazing angler. We've got Matthew Ortenzi, just a stand-up dude. I mean, good angler, like great angler. That's the thing. I don't want to say that any one person is not as good as the other, and that's what makes it so interesting. Then we've got Jeremy Hicks, he just kind of came into it all last year in the Carolina Kayak Anglers series, and he made himself known quickly. And for me, that was kind of mind blowing, which it happens. So then we've got a guy named Mike Wimmer, who is a decent friend of mine. He doesn't really do the Facebook thing, but he is somebody I communicate with regularly. I actually talked to him earlier about the tournament this weekend. He is an awesome angler as well. We've got Steve Perry, who just the past couple times I've been around him and seen what he can do. He can catch fish when I haven't been able to. So who else do we have? I know I'm missing somebody else. Sorry, I was kind of like not.
It's all right, man. It's all good.
Let's see. Hang on. Who else have we got? I know I'm missing somebody, and I seem like a bad person right now. But let's see. Yeah, Steve, Chris. Oh, Justin Faircloth. That's the other dude, and I can't remember. I can't believe that I left him out. He is the thing about Justin. He used to. I would fish a lot of online tournaments the past couple of years, and life just gets busier as you have children and everything.
Yep.
Justin Faircloth popped out of nowhere last year and had me nervous a handful of times. But the cool thing about all this right now is that the relationship, like I said, that I've been able to build with these other anglers, which is really cool, because you know how fishing is. You just said it. A lot of times when you're an angler and you're like, I got to go out here and I got to win this tournament, you want to, if you do find something in practice, if you are able to practice,
right,
you try to keep it quiet. But like you said earlier, you have to communicate. This is going to make it a game changer.
It is.
I think is cool about it.
It is, man. I mean, the communication's key. It's huge. I mean, we found that out, and I think that's one thing we did very effectively was we were communicating through the entire time. And man, it was fun, man. It was a blast. And as I said, it's a different feeling. I can't really explain it, but it's just one of those. I mean, I played sports all my life, man. And, I was always part of a team, atmosphere. And, there's just something about putting on a uniform and putting on, getting in, a road trip with your buddies and, going to somebody else's house and then beating them on their own water, man, or in their own stadium, so to speak. Man, I tell you, that kind of felt the same feeling, but I'll be honest with you, the night beforehand, we had an absolute blast, with Robert Brown and, Jesse Wade and, James O'Neill. And I mean, we just got together and just had an absolute blast, beforehand. But, after that though, man, I mean, like when we got to the water, it was like game on, man. It was like, no friends, if you wear a different uniform, it's no friends, man.
And that's what's going to make it interesting, because I can see myself communicating with the rest of my team throughout a tournament day, because this will be the cool thing about this preseason event is that it will be we're going to have it'll be going along with a Central Carolina kayak fishing tournament. That's a new series that just started up this year. So that's the cool thing. So we're going to be fishing for ourselves for that tournament and then fishing for our teams. So it's going to be like two tournaments that run together with one another, which I think is really cool.
Right.
It's just the KFL in itself has opened up some really cool opportunities that you wouldn't ordinarily think of when it comes to fishing or basketball.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who just don't know how this is going to go. I can tell you just from the trial run that we did have, again, I think it's a special thing, man. It was a blast. And I'm glad the concept kind of proved itself out, and it's really going to be up to the teams, man. The team's got to get the content out there. I mean, the whole purpose of it is, developing a team atmosphere, but also, not only that, is basically using that opportunity to, promote yourself within the team, right? And hopefully we can take this to a bigger and better level, and it's just going to be fun to do. As I said, I think it's going to add a little bit different spice to the sport, and a lot of people are kind of just sitting on the sidelines asking, kind of seeing, how this is going to go, but. Again, the amount of content we're going to be able to take out and then know God like anglers. I mean, this is the first time I've ever met you, Matt. But
it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But at the end of the day, I'm going to know who you are now. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, he's with Tarheel Lunkers, man. I know exactly who this guy is.
Well, hopefully I can make myself more known, but I don't know. We'll see about that. We know how fishing goes.
Yeah. Show everybody the swag you got on, man.
Well, right now I am wearing the brand new Carolina Tarheel Lunkers kayak bass fishing team hat. And I've also got a shirt on who was provided to us by Carolina Waters.
Yeah,
That's
man.
So the sponsors coming into this too, it is like the idea is, I know you like, the idea is new to so many people, and it's a great idea, but I think that one of the coolest things for me was seeing our sponsors that were able to just jump on. Like we've got On the Water Innovations. I'm sure you've heard of them before. That's
oh yeah,
Denny Romero.
Yep.
Like if you're going to buy a kayak trailer, you need to go to him. I promise you. Like I mean, he's top notch.
Right.
He jumped on board immediately, and he is a great person. Also, I can vouch for that. And Carolina Waters, who did our shirts here. We've got Cast One. I think he's a rod builder. Valor and Honor Outdoors, and then Restore Warehouse, which I believe is based out of Fayetteville. But anyway, I mean, if you think about that, you think about this concept and this idea, like they just jumped in. It's kind of like me whenever Matt asked me if I wanted to be on the team. Like, heck yeah! I mean, it's cool. It's new. Like this is the beginning of like a new chapter in our kayak fishing future, and to be a part of that, man, that's cool. For me, it is. So
yeah, man, absolutely. I mean, it's again, you're getting the whole community involved in this, right? They feel like they're invested in the community itself, and they have something to put something in. Again, people who love fishing. The whole point is to develop fans in the area, talk to kids. I mean, it's the whole concept, man. It's really really cool. So I've got my fellow Washington Warhawk, Mr. Bobby Big Gun Moore on. Mr. Moore, how are you, sir?
What's going on? Hold on just a minute. Let me get into some light here.
Absolutely, man. Listen, we were talking about the old preseason game that we had over in Virginia, man. And talk about your experience, Bobby. Talk about what has Matt done and the Tarheel Lunkers looking forward to here, man. Like from the feelings to how you have to approach this, and what was different from actual having an individual live event.
I would say. I would say one of the biggest things that you have to overcome is the team of me, because me no longer exists in this format. If you think you're going to carry your team to victory and keep where you're catching fish a secret, it's going to end up costing you. The one thing that I liked about it is Greg. I mean, we struggled in the first part of the morning, and like Greg, when Nathan posted up that big old fish, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long day.
Oh yeah.
And Greg finally got on a pattern, and as soon as he got on that pattern, he started calling us, and everybody, and we all started working our way that we're close enough, and the rest of them started doing the exact same thing, but in the areas they were in, and we started catching fish.
Yep.
So that's the biggest thing. You've got to overcome your own what would I say, your own personal this is about me and I'm going to do everything, because if you go into with that attitude in this format, you're going to be losing some games.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, yeah, you gotta continually just be that team player, man. It's just crazy. So but again, it's going to take a while, guys. I'm telling you straight up, it's going to take a while to get into that mindset for sure. I mean, it's not like you're automatically just this great teammate and everything else, man. It's just
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it.
And wait till the content comes out, man. This is going to be really, really cool. Well, we have another KFL.
They'll see Saturday.
Yeah, we have another KFL gentleman from the Norfolk Privateers, Mr. Robert.
It's a whole new ball game, and the feeling.
We lost him. It's Mr. Robert Brown. How you doing, sir, from the Norfolk Privateers?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
What's going on, man? We got Mr. Matt Dunn, we got Bobby Moore, and we're talking KFL, man. And we have an advantage, Mr. Brown. We had the chance to actually participate in a game already. Matt and the Tarheel Lunkers are taking on the Carolina Casters. And Robert, do you have any advice, or what was your experience like, man, when we had our first game, man? What was the experience like, man?
Honestly, can I have a second, baby? Can I have a second?
I got a little boy that does the same thing.
Yeah, man.
4-year-old.
Honestly, man. So I'm gonna start from the beginning of the showing up to the thing, man. So I showed up a day early to do some pre-fishing, and I ended up staying with Greg and Bobby and who else was there? A couple more people from your team. I can't remember. I can't remember the young man's name.
Dustin Arms. Yep.
Dustin Arms
Adam.
was there. Yeah, and Adam. And then James came on. And we did our pre-fishing, and it was rough pre-fishing, man. So, like, first thing that came to mind for me was I was very surprised by how nervous I was about pre-fishing. And this is a preseason game. And I'm like, the intensity was already there before you showed up, because it's like Greg been talking a lot of smack, right? And smack. Bobby's over there co-signing everything that Greg is saying. So I'm like, all right, this is Sandy River Reservoir, and I'm like, it's known for big fish.
Oh yeah.
I'm finna go out there and I'm finna throw a jig down some fish's mouths, and in pre-fishing I get no bites, and I'm just like, what is going on? And I'm just like talking to everybody, and Greg's on fish. He's been posting the fish he's been on, and I'm just like, so I'm putting up pictures of fish that I'm catching. I didn't think I was there, but I wasn't actually there. And like I was just nervous. I was nervous.
Yeah.
Like.
But I mean, Robert, you're not that nervous in a normal preseason, like a normal event like yourself. You know what I mean? I'm not. You know what I mean? Whatever. To me, it's like whatever happens, happens. But dude, it's just a little bit different intensity. I can't explain it, but I feel what you're feeling, man. I know exactly what you're talking about.
To you 100% why it's different, because this happened. It happened for me. So competition day comes by. So the night before, it was all congenial. We were having a great time. The laughs, the stories, it was awesome between the privateers and the war chickens.
We got you.
We're doing the pregame stuff right before we getting started, and the intensity is just there. It's just thick. It's just there. Like,
yeah.
The guys on my team are just like, they're focused, laser focused. Nate Green is just like, man, I mean, I wish Greg would stop talking, man. I'm ready to get on the water and stick some pigs. He was there. So one of the biggest things that this thing will do for you, and the intensity that's driven in there, is you're a team format. So when you go out there, no matter how good you are, you're feeling to yourself, I cannot go out there and stink it up for my team. I cannot go out there and everybody on the team is putting fish on the board, and I'd be the one not putting fish on the board.
Right.
Not contributing to the team's success. I'm okay if I'm not putting any fish on the board, but if I'm giving my team information that helps them put fish on the board,
yep,
good.
Exactly.
I'm okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, I just sucked it up really hard.
It was tough, man. It was a tough day, but I'll tell you, man, like, somebody's going to break loose. Somebody's going to break loose and put up a bunch of fish, in your team, on your team or the other team. And I tell you, it's like, how are you going to respond, man? It's, it's just, again, you can't get yourself discouraged or whatever, because it can happen just like this, man. Some guys can get hot, or they found this school, man. And it's just, I mean, dude, like when I was watching the scoreboard just light up, man, I was super excited, man. And it, like, once Dustin put up his and then Bobby put up his, I was like, man, I was so excited. But Matt, let me ask you a question, man. You guys are fishing Sharon Harris, right? This weekend?
Well, this weekend is going to be at Randleman Lake.
Oh, Randleman. Okay.
Yes. So that place has got some big ones swimming around in it too. I mean,
yes, sir.
The couple times I've been there, I've done pretty well. Now I'm hoping this will be. I'm thinking that maybe they might be getting close to being on beds. Not sure.
Yeah.
So every other time I've been there has been later in the summer and the fall. So, but I'm expecting. I don't know. I'm expecting some big fish to be caught.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, we're getting close. I mean, you guys are kind of in the same climate area as us in Virginia. We're close. I was out here today, and we didn't catch we didn't catch anything. I mean, it's just but the fish kind of just moved out. We had another cold front move in, and the water temperatures dropped. We're still in the high 50s. Really not in the 60s yet, but it's close, man. That new moon's coming over, and it's getting real close for some slabs to be caught.
I'm hoping they're going to fire for my team at least. No, or everybody really, but
yeah,
my team definitely. Now I've heard of some people say that they had went out the past week or so and didn't do too well. So, but you never know. I mean, there's also been situations where you go out there and fish the day before, and you think you're on them.
Yeah,
it rains the night before, and it shuts them down. And that's another thing. I think we've got some rain coming in Friday, and maybe even a little bit during the tournament on Saturday. So that's going to make things interesting too. But I think someone's going to find them.
How's cell phone signal out there in Randleman?
For me, it's been pretty good.
Okay, good.
So
yeah.
So hope and I have Verizon, so shouldn't be a big deal.
I'm about like Robert. I remember the night before we were all sitting there. What was there? Probably 12 or 14 of us sitting at the table eating dinner, laughing, joking, cutting up, having a great time. And the morning we showed up at the boat ramp, it's like somebody reached over there and flipped that switch. The intensity on both teams, you could see it on each individual.
Yep.
And once we launched and was ready to go, I mean, it was game on.
And see, I'm already getting that feeling right now. Like I'm getting it. Like I wish that it was tomorrow and not Saturday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, we're gonna do some What time are you guys launching? Is it gonna be 6:30 or so? 6? Have you guys decided?
Let's see. I believe it's gonna be at. Excuse me, trying to get it together here. I think we're gonna be launching at 6:15, and then lines in at 6:45.
Okay. We're gonna do some some interviewing before you guys get out on the boats. We'll just do some. Stephen Bell said 7 o'clock.
Okay.
7 o'clock. Yep. So we're gonna get on live with you just like we are now on StreamYard. We're gonna do some interviewing for you guys. Get some content. On air, and we're gonna be talking to you guys as you guys go, and make sure you have your GoPros ready. Capture the moments, man. We're gonna put it all together, professionally edit it, and then show the game. I mean, that's just going to be the way it's going to go. We're going to be keeping stats and keeping track on you guys live on Tourney X and kind of watching the scoreboard light up, man. And if we see somebody doing good, we'll call them and interview them. And it's going to be legit, man. This is going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Really, really, really cool concept. And I'm definitely happy to be a part of it for sure.
Hey, it's Dunn, right? Mr. Dunn?
Yes, sir. Matthew Dunn or Matt Dunn. I just put Matt up there.
Hey, I heard you say something earlier about hopefully after this you can get your name more well known. I can tell you this. I know who you are.
Do you? Oh my goodness, that's scary.
I know who you are. We'll talk to me about Mr. Matt Dunn. So yeah, you're brother. People know you.
Well, good deal. Well, and that's the cool thing about our community. Like for me, it's not because I know who Bobby Big Gun is. Never, and that's the cool thing. I'm going to get to meet all you guys in person one day.
Yeah,
but that's the cool thing about our sport is just to see how quickly it's growing. And like I said about the KFL, that's just another part of history that we're making.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be interesting.
That is so amazing.
Matt, looking at your season schedule, right? You have obviously your rival here. Let's just call it your rival.
Okay.
What other game are you really looking forward to in the season? There's 6 games throughout the season. Let's see if I remember this correctly. You're probably going to be playing. let's see, you got the Carolina Casters. You're going to be playing Norfolk Privateers, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
then
right.
you'll be playing Alabama. I think is it Alabama you're going to?
I think we're playing let's see, I've got our schedule. So it shows, so the first game will be against the Carolina Casters at Falls Lake. That's in the June 12th. Then probably what I'm looking forward to is the Florida Copperheads down there at Fellsmere.
Oh, you're going to Fellsmere.
Yeah. So
wow.
because that,
oh,
I mean, that's like epic. Whenever our team found out that that's where we would be going, it was just, I mean, the excitement of everyone was just insane. Now, if we could go down there to be a skunk fest, you never know. You know how that goes. But that's
Florida.
Really cool.
It all depends on condition, man.
I'm so jealous. So jealous.
And then the Alabama Hammers, that will be at Randleman again. So that should be interesting. And that'll be the July tournament. So that should set up fairly well. Then we're playing the Norfolk Privateers. I'm not sure where that's going to be at, what lake or river was chosen for that yet.
I'll let you know right now if you want to know. Pencil it in.
But I mean, honestly, I'm looking forward to all of them. I mean, you know, it's gonna, like, I don't know. It's just that feeling. Like, I already got that feeling in me. Like, oh boy, here we go. Like, I wish that tomorrow was game day and not, you know, Saturday. You know.
I mean, again, sports is all about rivals, right? You have, you know, Bird versus Magic Johnson. You got, you know, Jordan versus, you know, the Detroit Pistons and all this other. I mean, it's going to develop rivalries. I mean, do you guys already have a natural rivalry with, you know, Carolina, or do you feel that you could maybe have another rival with, let's say, Florida Copperheads or something, you know?
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely sure that could be the case, but like, I'm sure we've got some unspoken, like, rivalries going on with the Carolina Casters, you know.
Yeah.
You've got Eric Nelson.
Yeah.
There, I think he was the Mid-Atlantic KBF Angler of the Year last year.
Right.
And he's a great person, but he's tough. I mean, he is a good angler. I mean, he's a great angler.
He's the number 2 seed in the KBBT National Championship bracket for a reason.
Oh, that's right. I saw that. And then Henry or Hank
Vajon.
I don't want to say his name wrong.
Yep.
Hank is he's a character, and he is.
He absolutely.
And I think that's where the rivalry will come through, just because Hank's just that kind of people.
Right.
They've got Arlie Minton on their team. He is just
solid.
Yeah, he is solid. The other guys, I know I've met Steven before in the past. So I don't want to go telling any lies about anyone else, but I know there's some rivalry there, and they're gonna make it as tough as they can on us too.
Sure.
So as I'm sure everyone else will too, Alabama and the Copperheads. You know, I mean, it's not going to be easy, but it will be fun, and that's what's cool about it.
Yeah. Well, after the game too, I mean, what's great about it, I mean, you know, after the game, you know, we'll talk about stats and all that good stuff, but then you guys vote a player of the game. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the person who, you know, catches the most fish. I mean, that's not usually, you know, I mean, that can be, but I mean, you know, as a team or both teams come together, vote the player of the game or MVP, whatever you want to call it. You know, that's pretty cool too. And then, you know, you guys can go celebrate. I'll have to tell you a quick story of Randleman, man. I hate snakes, man. Can't stand them. You know, the only way you handle snakes is with a hoe, as far as I'm concerned, man. I'm not a freaking snake guy. Well, I was coming out of Randleman. I was at the boat launch at the park, whatever it is. And then there's this bridge you have to kind of go under to go into the main area of Randleman, right?
Gotcha.
Well, I went to the bridge and, you know, I started looking up and there was like 3 long black snakes that were like straight across the freaking
on the bridge. Real?
The bridge, yeah, like the scaffoldings of the bridge.
Yeah.
There's 3 snakes like all together. They were strung across there, and the water was up, and my kayak was, you know, pretty close to the top of the freaking bridge there. And I was like, oh my God, if these things fall in my kayak, I swear to goodness, I'm going to flip out. I was like hustling as fast as I could through those things, and they were just like looking at me, man. I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I had to go back. You know what I mean?
I am terrified of snakes.
I don't do snakes, man. But Randleman had 3 of those suckers strung across that stupid thing, man. And I was like, I'll never. I have nightmares to this day about that stupid bridge. So good luck to you, man.
You know, ordinarily if I see one, I stop and let it go its own way. You know, I've never come up on a gator before.
Yeah,
Sure,
gators I can do, man. Gators, no problem. Snakes, I don't do snakes, man.
Yeah, I think I probably feel like a snake would be more dangerous too. I mean, you couldn't hear them coming, and they don't. You know, I've had copperheads come at me before, which is a big no.
No, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Well, tell him, Greg, wait till he gets one of them good Florida alligators down there in Jurassic Park where they're going to fish.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Fishing along.
Bobby Moore and his
and then just pops up right beside you and blows up like a water tanker truck.
Oh yeah. Bobby got flipped by an alligator on air at KBBT. Really? Bobby was flipped over by an alligator at Kenansville. A gator came up underneath his kayak and flipped him over on air.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I probably would have had a heart attack.
He was cool. He's like, "Hey man, just kept fishing." He's like, it is what it is, man. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Matt, so give me your prediction, man. I mean, what's going to happen? Give me a score prediction.
Well, all right. So you said 10 fish.
Yep, but it's the best 10 fish of the team.
Best 10 fish of the team. So I'm going to say
at least 120 inches.
Yeah, or definitely. I was thinking more like up around. Yeah, I'm going to say like 170. We'll say 170 inches. You know.
So okay, that's pretty decent because I'm showing some scores of the last preseason game. Arkansas Hogs was 117 and a quarter. The Lone Star Bandits put a show on 199 and a quarter, and then Warhawks were at 121 and Privateers were at 53. So I mean, you know, it could range, man. I mean, it's going to vary, but Lone Star Bandits just got caught on fire, man. That's like a 19 and a quarter inch average there, man. So
and that's what's gonna I think that's like you say, things might start out slow, but I think whenever someone gets them figured out, it's going to be lights out.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, really. So
as long as they share the information, if they keep it to themselves.
Exactly. And that's what I agree with you on, Bobby, is because we're going to have to play like a team, or it's not. If I go in there worried more about me than anyone else, I can hang it up. And that's not what this is about. So
that's right.
The thing is, I've got some great team members. So, and we communicate just about on a daily basis, all of us, which is has been a really cool thing about this.
No, absolutely. Robert, let's talk about your first game that you have for the season, man. You know, we're taking on Detroit Ambassadors. We are looking forward to that matchup. We were going to host them on the Potomac River. They have some absolute just, I mean, you know, Eric Polens is on that team. Jeremy Baker, you've got Zach Solaire. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, it's they're doing real well. But in terms of their team. But I think Robert, you guys are week 1. You guys actually have a bye week, and then week 2 you start your season.
Mm-hmm.
And your first matchup is against
I want to say it's the Carolina Cat.
Okay, so you're going to be able to kind of take a look at this game with a little interest and see what they've got, huh?
I want to say it's Carolina Cat. It's one of the Carolina teams.
Okay.
I want to say it's at or it's at Sharon Harris. It's either Sharon Harris or McIntosh. I have to look at the schedule. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay. Yeah. No worries, man. But yeah, I mean that's going to be interesting. I mean, because both these teams you're going to be playing throughout the season, so it's kind of like scouting, right? See what they have.
I've already done some scouting.
For Sharon Harris, that's a brutal place.
I know a few people. I've done some scouting already, and actually, I've already started doing some lake scouting. Actually, getting out on the water.
Right.
So I've already started talking to a couple of friends in the area who fish that lake a lot. And, I'm doing my research. We're getting our research in. We're getting our study time in, and it's and then another dynamic that you haven't brought up is figuring out of the 6 people who's the starting 4.
That's the issue, Matt. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's kind of like, preseason, you can fish anybody you want on your team. I think it's going to be 8 versus 8 if I remember correctly in this game. But
Yes.
you got 4. I mean, this is almost kind of like you got to treat this like preseason, like NFL, man. I mean, who's gonna perform to earn the starting spot?
That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, if you lay an egg, I mean, you might not be suiting up, man. You might be holding a camera for week 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's a little extra pressure. Yeah.
In my experiences, it tends to be like I seem to do better on certain lakes. If that makes sense. I don't know why it is. I've had times where I go, I've gone halfway across the state, like Carscott Reservoir, for instance, and just for some reason or another did really well there, and then went back a couple of years later and some reason did really well there. Randleman's kind of been similar. So hopefully I can keep that momentum going. But I know what you mean. I mean, you kind of almost have to pick people, and when you're on a team with a lot of guys that are amazing anglers, it's how do you pick? What do you wind up drawing straws, or I mean, it's kind of hard.
That's really for the coach / owner to really figure out. I mean, that's a hard job, man. I mean, Rob, you kind of help with the Norfolk Privateers, man. Dude, that's a tough call, man. Every angler has its strengths and weaknesses,
Exactly right, man. And that's one thing that I've tried to stress in our meetings and in our, text message threads is that, hey, man, it's gonna be on. It's really, if you have hurt feelings, then I'm sorry, man. Like, you can keep those hurt feelings to yourself. I'll tell you, I'm sorry.
Right.
You'll still on the bench. But my thing is
part of coming together as a team.
Yeah, if this guy's hot,
exactly.
This guy's fishing well. He's got the confidence. We're all anglers, man. We know confidence plays a huge part in this game.
It does.
If you have some guy you have one of the teammates who's hot, who's just killing it right now, and for instance, take our preseason game. If that were a regular season game and I actually had the opportunity to pre-fish before and I pre-fished like I did, I would have made the hard decision to sit myself.
Yeah.
Right. And choose someone else to come into that starting position,
Right.
I know a weakness of mine that I've had. You know what? Never mind. I ain't voicing the weaknesses.
No, I wouldn't either.
Oh, let it out.
I have none.
No, you don't want to give your weaknesses away from these guys, man. I mean, these guys are looking for every little bit of information. But you are playing Carolina Casters June. Looks like June 19th, and it is going to be at Sharon Harris, man.
Sharon.
That's the same weekend I'm going to be down in Florida.
I've heard great things about Sharon Harris. I've heard it's feast or famine. I have heard that.
And
but
it is.
When feast, it's really big feast.
Yeah.
Beasts in there or famine. I mean, I've left that lake in tears before. But
Matt, what lakes are you guys choosing for your home games?
Our lakes, because we could have chosen Sharon Harris, but we didn't because that place is kind of, I don't know how to, it's kind of been going through some changes, it seems, or not necessarily changes, but it seems like it's not the same lake. I feel like it's a lot of fishing pressure. That place is known for big bass. It's like a big bass factory, and it is, but you've got to, it's a learning experience there. Mm-hmm. They're ordinarily on a certain pattern, a certain time of year. And if you know that pattern, you're in good shape. Well, that has not been the case in the past, I'd say about a year or so. So it's a tough place. It's a tough place. It's changing. But anyway, we've chosen Randleman. And then we're going to have, and that's going to be on, let's see, hold on, we're going to do Randleman this weekend. And then, sorry, I'm trying to look at the schedule here also. So then our first regular season game will be at Falls Lake, which I'm sure everyone's probably heard of Falls. Falls and Jordan Lake. I think the MLS
Jordan is just amazing.
Yeah, and Jordan's a great lake too.
Yep.
Then the next home game will be Randleman again. So
so Randleman and Jordan or Falls.
It'll be one of the three of those. I want to think we're going to have a home game with Carolina Casters.
Yep.
I think that's going to be in August, and I believe that's going to be at Jordan. So,
Carolina Casters have Sharon Harris, Jordan Lake, and Randleman Lake is going to be the lakes that they choose. Very similar to you guys. Again, you kind of butt up with one another. But we're going to get another gentleman on who's played a preseason game, and this is from the Lone Star Bandits. The coach himself, Mr. Marcus Coates.
What it do?
What's going on, Mr. Coates? Talk about your experience, man. Talk about your experience during the KFL event that you guys wind up winning in a pretty convincing fashion, man.
Pretty much just had to sit there and watch Jim put fish after fish after fish after fish in his boat. But man, when it started out, we didn't have the first fish on the board. We didn't even have the first two fish on the board. So, when as a team and you see the other team jump up there a little bit, you're instantly like, guys, get your crap together, like now. Like somebody start catching fish. And we communicated as a team. So we switched up our game plan a little bit. People started doing things a little bit differently. And next thing you know, it was like, there's a 20, there's a 20, there's a 20, there's a 20. I mean, it was 20s for everybody.
Right.
But it's a whole different ball game. It feels different. I mean, it's a team sport now, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. And that's why I feel like those preseason matchups are so. I mean, they should be mandatory. We had to add so many different things to our game plans going forward in the season. After we won and we won big, but at the same time, our communication wasn't there that we needed. We made a few mistakes that we shouldn't have made. A couple guys crowded each other that shouldn't have crowded each other. I mean, and it wasn't bad. It worked out in our favor. But at the end of the day, you want to use that preseason game to get the kinks on your team worked out. That way, when you're playing the big leagues, you ain't got to worry about all that nonsense.
Robert, I do have a question for you, man. I mean, the game that we played, we talked about, some of the things in our post-game interviews. We talked about this, and hopefully it would come out here this week. But when you send out your team, was the strategy kind of spread the lake out with the players, or was it kind of concentrate the players in the area that you thought he had fish?
Honestly, we actually chopped the lake up into sections that each of us were going to fish.
Mm-hmm.
And this preseason game, we learned so much. Matt, you're going to learn a lot in this preseason game on how you attack bodies of water and how you perform as a team, how you talk as a team. You're going to learn a lot. But we learned a lot. We actually split the lake up into different sections, and we tried to have each person working their strength in that section of the lake, so on and so forth. And something I'll be honest right now, something that we learned is a better way to attack it than how we did in the preseason game.
Yeah.
And we also learned that, hey, our communication was there. Unlike what the people's champs said, our team communication was there. We were but another issue to run into.
Is the guys' team that lost taking shots at the guys' team that won? I just want clarification.
Here it comes, everybody.
All right. So the guys' team that got beat by Greg Nozar is talking smack to the guys' team that won. Got it. We're on the same page now.
Who cares about renting pre-fish? That's what I'm saying.
We're just about dubs in general. Pretty much always about dubs.
Hey, how many fish did you catch in Texas?
How many fish did I catch at Fork? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, that's. How was that?
As many as you did.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. All right, let's get this train back on the rails here.
All right. Well, hey, I'll let y'all get back to it. I just wanted to come on and say, hey, good luck in your preseason matchup. I got to get back to work
Thank
anyway.
you.
But
All right,
y'all
man.
have a great evening, guys.
Yeah, bud. See you, man.
Thank you too.
But yeah, I mean, like Robert said, you will learn a ton. I mean, just when you think your game plan is, let's going to do this, this, and this, and sometimes, man, dude, it just doesn't work out that way. You know what I mean? You have to make adjustments, and I think the team that makes the best adjustments is going to wind up winning.
I agree, and I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bobby.
I was going to say, because with what Robert said, they broke the lake up into sections. And we done the same thing, but we done it during pre-fishing. So we eliminated a lot of water, and then we started concentrating where we were catching fish. And then in the end, the pattern was developed. And once it was developed, we found fish. And we found fish where we caught them at. So I think your pre-fishing is going to be just as important as the game's going to be. Because you get on a large body of water, you can't wait till game day to start breaking it down.
Well, we called an audible. I'll give you a little hint. We called an audible at the ramp. We did. We said, look, we're gonna go here. We're like 4 of us are just gonna go ahead and attack this area. We're gonna comb this area as much as we can, and you're gonna throw this. I'm gonna throw this. You're gonna throw this, and you're gonna throw this, and see what happens. And we were going to send some guys out to the other side of the lake and all that stuff. But then we kind of knew pre-fishing that these fish were in this area, and we wanted to attack this area as best we could. And then if they weren't there, then we were going to spread out. You know what I mean? And I think, if we didn't get on that bite early, we'd be in trouble. You know what I mean? So again, it's just developing that pattern. Here's what it was, and here's where they were. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's where they're going to be all day. In our case, they actually were, because the place just reloaded. You know what I mean? So
funny about your audible, Greg. I didn't see it at all by the 4 of you who went to the same area.
We were there.
Yep.
We were there.
I went to the wall or to the dam, and the other 3 all went under the bridge.
Y'all figured them out, and you got to them. I'll give you that.
Yeah, no, Robert, to be honest with you, we were going to send 2 guys to where you guys were.
Yeah.
Yep. So, it was, but again, it was just one of those calls. It's just kind of like, either you make the right decision or you don't, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but again, you know how it goes too, guys. You could throw something on one side of the lake and it work, and then you go to the other side of the lake and just doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's fishing, man, And
I personally think when the real test is going to come into play, because like our regular season games are starting up in June. Right now we're like in pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn.
Yeah.
That's going to change things up a lot.
You start fishing history, you're going to be in trouble.
Well, exactly. That's what's gotten me about Sharon Harris over the years, that history. But bad boys start getting out on a summer pattern.
Yeah.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, something happened on the computer. When those fish start getting out deeper, that's gonna open the whole lake up. At that point, you'll still have some shallow, you'll still have them in deep water, which I prefer deep. I prefer fishing deep.
Yeah. So,
that's just where my confidence lies more so than shallow water fishing. So right now, that's what's going to be the main thing here. This preseason game going into probably a shallow water tournament. And then, a couple months later, we start in June when these fish, at least down here, are probably going to be more so offshore, maybe, that opens up the water more. And that's going to, that's when I think maybe choosing your starting players that have, maybe have a couple that have got a great shallow water game and a couple that have got a great deep water game, because you never know where the big bites are going to come from, personally.
Yeah, wait till it comes to Fellsmere.
And that for me, that one's like I don't know what's going to happen there, Yeah,
average water depth 2 to 5 feet.
Exactly. So someone who like me who excels in deeper water, I don't know, will I be picked for that one? I don't know, but I sure hope so. Get my shallow water game together.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Fellsmere is a special place, man. It's a great time to be there, man. It's and I tell you, You just gotta watch out for the weather, man. That is a very unpredictable. The Florida storms every afternoon, man. It's just it's
And the wind.
in the wind. Yeah, the wind is something else.
Hey, Greg, I have a question for you real quick.
Yes, sir.
Can teams change their 3 lakes as of right now?
Yeah, it's not set in stone.
Jesus, never mind. All right, I was gonna bring up a great point, but you said they can be changed, so I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, I mean it can be changed. I mean, again, your 3 lakes, so to speak. You want to have backup upon backup, especially if you have rivers. I mean, I know like West Virginia has rivers. We have rivers.
Well, is there going to be a time when your lakes have to be locked in for the season?
Yeah, before the season starts.
Okay.
Before the season starts, yeah. I mean, again, and again, just because you have that particular area on on your schedule, that week you can change it. I mean, because again, you have to talk about safety first. I mean, if you're on the new river and it's blowing, 150,000, 200,000 CFS,
Yeah.
you that's like class 5 rapids, on the new river, man. You gotta move them. And so anyway, it's just one of those things. But I wish we had Stephen Bell on to talk about the Carolina Casters. We'll get him on, hopefully when his phone works. But Matt, do you want to say anything about your sponsors, your team, or whatever before we wrap this thing up?
Well, I would just like to thank my team for coming together, and especially Matthew Hortense for putting this thing together so fast, and with you giving us the opportunity to do this. Then, like I said, I tried to list all our sponsors here like towards the beginning.
Yeah,
and I really do appreciate it. I mean, what
man.
we are building here right now is the future of kayak bass fishing, and to be able to sit here with the 4 of you guys right now, and be talking on here, it's amazing. So to know that we're all going to play a major role in the future of how this thing's going to go down is awesome. So,
Montreal Sullivan says preseason matchup is going to be fun against the Carolina Casters. Looking forward to it.
And that's the other one that I forgot. I forgot Don Trail. Now he's somebody we got to watch out to. See, that's the thing. I wasn't prepared for this, and I'm nervous. So now my team's going to be.
You better get used to the camera time, bro. Yeah, and that's one thing too. I mean, these anglers, man. Listen, it's like you're going to be getting a lot of camera time, man. You're going to get a lot of just promotion and everything else. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. So, you did a great job, dude, Matt. You did a fantastic job. I know you kind of thrown into the frying pan there, man.
No, and it's okay. It's just this is not about me. This is about my team, and
absolutely,
I love it. I love it, man. And you get the right attitude.
I'm excited for what we're doing here, and it's going to be really cool, really interesting.
Wait till Saturday morning.
Wait till Saturday morning. Oh,
I probably won't be able to sleep Friday night.
Yeah. Well, we hope to capture what's going on. Again, we'll do some interviews with you guys, and then let you guys launch and all that good stuff, and then keep your cameras on, man. It's hopefully all your teammates have GoPros or some way to record what's going on, and we just want good content. Put it all together, man. Have a good time with it. I think you'll love the production of it and all that good stuff, and just kind of you get to show your family, your friends, and all that stuff. It's a real deal, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So. But this is our first episode of KFL Tonight, and we've got man, congratulations. We actually made it through as an hour, perfect hour talking about it, man. I loved it. Just kind of recapping of what's going on. We plan on doing this every week during the games, getting all the teams on sporadically through the week. Kind of think of it like a sports center for kayak fishing. It's kind of what we're going to do, and talk about just the experience and everything else. So. Anyway, let's see. Justin Faircloth says, how do we get you the footage? Okay, that's a great question, Justin. So what we're going to do, man, is your captains or your owners have the information of what to do. You're going to upload it into a private YouTube channel that we've set up for the KFL. And the reason why we did that is because YouTube can hold so much video. And then we're going to pull it down. And we hired a person that actually is putting all the videos together. And they know what to do, and it's easy to access from their side, and they produce it and all that stuff and all that good stuff. So anyway, it's really, really cool. But just upload it over to YouTube, man. If you want to edit it yourself, word of advice: don't use the bathroom and record it, win, and upload it to YouTube. No one wants to see you take a piss off your freaking kayak. Don't do it. Just turn your camera off, then take your piss. Because no one wants to see that, man.
It's funny because I brought it up before our preseason game.
We will make this PG, man. PG.
Yeah, and enjoy it because it was a lot of fun. We had a great time with the camaraderie the night before, and then tournament day or game day. It was a phenomenal experience.
Yeah. I'm sorry, we got some comments going, man. Everybody's done it, man. Everybody's done it. Listen, I've done it too, man. Forget to turn the damn camera off, and next thing you know, you got freaking editing. You're like, oh my God, I cannot believe the camera was running when I did that.
I mean, I guess it could be worse.
Yeah, you can go live, GoPro live, and never send.
I'd just like to give another shout out to my team here because I got thinking about this and I left some people out, and I'm probably going to be riding the bench for most of the year now. But I'm proud to be a part of it with all you guys. And
yeah, us too, man. We're super excited, man. Again, this is a special bond, man. Special. Everybody in the KFL, man. I mean, is like you said, it's going to become like a big family, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, and thank you guys for entrusting us for this first season, man. I mean, it's a commitment. I mean, it's a commitment for time. It's a commitment for money. It's not easy, kind of taking that idea and bringing it over to me. I was super impressed with Matt's enthusiasm, Matt Hortensi's enthusiasm for the league itself, and coming in like he did. I was shocked. And it really helped us out in terms of being able to kind of solidify that region a little bit. Guys, all I can tell you to do is have a blast doing it, man. And just, enjoy the team atmosphere. I don't know if you guys have your shirts yet, your uniforms and all that stuff. But, yeah, man, it's going to be great, man. And, again, it's just having a number with a name in back of your jersey and then representing your area, man. It's just something special. So I hope you enjoy it, man. Well, guys, we're getting off here. And Matt, thanks for joining us, man. Rob Brown, Bobby, Marcus, everybody who joined us. Steve, sorry that you had phone issues, man, but we'll clean that up a little bit before the season starts. And guys, looking forward to the preseason game against Tarheel Lunkers and the Carolina Casters at Randleman this weekend, this Saturday. Stay tuned for it, guys. Good night. See ya.
Good night, everybody.
See y'all.